Hello, my name is Kai Love, and I am here as the host of the first ever virtual video, I Recite. I am so excited to be here. It's just been such an amazing day. I'm just thankful and blessed that I am healthy and in my right mind. And I am so honored that I put a call out to some of my friends in the artist community and said, you know what, impromptu, let's do a little open mic and test out some of these good technology tools. And we're going to see what it do. So I'm gonna go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves so everybody can come off of mute, and I'll call your name out and share something beautiful as far as a greeting to the people before we move into some pieces. So first on my screen I have Mr. Opinionated.
Hey, what's going on? This is Mr. Opinionated. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Been documenting the poetry community for about 7 years now. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Kai, for inviting me. And I am excited for this 21st century version. And I'm glad to be here.
For certain, for certain. Next, we are going to go to the top of my screen. Y'all give it up. Hoodraised is in the building.
No.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Hoodraised, West Side Chicago. You know, always representing it everywhere I go. Team leader of Addie Sundays, host of Addie Sundays Open Mic, host, author, mentor. All about this art, all about uplifting and always sharing love.
Fantastic. Next up is the beautiful, spiritual, powerful, and funny Alien.
Love, peace, and light from an alien. I reside on the south side of Chicago. I am a spoken word artist, a hostess, a motivational speaker, a mentor, and a life coach. And I'm humbled to be present here with my sister Kai Love of I Recite Open Mic. Thank you guys.
Fantastic. Next up, we have this sister, talking about true to form, talking about major supporter, talking about dope bartender, and always around the business and keeping everything organized for the Addie's crew and Boss Lady Entertainment and productions, and you know she is like all over the place.
Hey.
Y'all give it up for Darlin Mikki.
Hey y'all, it's Darlin Mikki from the west side of Chicago. Of course, all things at ease. That's right, all things at ease. Boss Lady Production. I'm so happy that you allowed me to be a part of this new thing that we have going on since we all quarantined. I can't wait to network.
You know, do that thing. Like, again, if this works, like if we like this format and you know we can manage it or whatever, we can do a couple of more I Recites. We could be like Sister Badu. We could do one of these once a week, you know.
Absolutely.
These poems over our chest, you know, because I know for me at least it's been words have been sitting in my spirit, and I just feel like this is gonna be a good time to release. So next up, we have Jamie, the artist. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, sis?
It's TheArtiste, but yeah, the rest of it is right.
Jamie, the artiste. We gotta get it right up here. I am corrected. Yes, Jamie, the artiste. Introduce yourself, sister.
Hi, I'm Jamie, the artiste. I've been doing public performing about over a year now. I do singing, comedy, writing, not just poetry, but like short stories and reviews as well. Kind of dabble in theater as well, you know, a little bit of everything, trying to find a way to pander to them all.
Nice. Well, you have some playwrights in here and some authors in here, some poets in here, some singers in here. So Welcome, sis. I'm ready to hear you. I'm happy to hear you. So, who else? Oh, down at the bottom, we look like the artistic Brady Bunch. It is so cool. Uh, next up is Savant Furlow.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Savant Furlow. I have been writing since I was a kid, maybe 5th grade, as a form of therapy, to kind of just get my thoughts out. And I always took interest in rhymes, making words rhyme, putting my thoughts together to tell a story in a way that flowed and was rhythmic. And so that's why I chose poetry as an art to delve into. Originally from the West Side, West Side.
West Side.
Yeah,
Allah.
indeed, indeed. So we representing heavy on
True.
this digital I Recite, you know.
Oh, look, alien. Right. Who's understand? I mean, I'm not saying that, I don't have no love for the West Side. I mean, but one day we gonna have this debate. We gonna use this platform too to bring on the West Siders and the South Siders, and we just gonna have us a friendly debate. We're gonna go toe to toe on debates about which side is the best.
That should go fast.
Hilarious. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, for the viewing audience, I'm Kai Love. I am a poet, singer, songwriter, philanthropic activist, medicine doctor, drinker of ruby red punches out of My Little Pony glasses, and the founder of I Recite. I Recite was founded probably almost 4 years ago, maybe even 5, specifically because I am a reciter. If you've seen me perform, I normally perform with some type of aid that I read from, and felt like that there was a need for that type of space here in Chicago, for folks to be able to bring their paperwork up and feel comfortable doing so. So this medium is that platform. And so if y'all with me, we can do this every week, and things hopefully will grow, and maybe this is the resurgence of I Recite in a regular cycle versus like I Recite Presents, which we'll still be doing. And maybe we'll even do that virtual. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So we're going to go ahead and get this party started. And so I think to set the mood right, I think I want my alien. I want my alien to bless us with something first. So I need everybody else to mute their mics, and let's give Alien the floor.
I'm going to start with a piece that involves anxiety, since I'm experiencing high extreme anxiety right now. My anxiety be the violin frenzy of an orchestra while the band leader loses their place on a music sheet. It'd be like ice cream scraping the surface of sensitive teeth. It's the increased heartbeat of a teenager that's sharing their first kiss with sweaty hands while holding the rope playing tug of war. It's the frayed endings of my nerves collapsing beneath the surface of my central nervous system. It's me avoiding asking too many questions about a joke that I didn't get while everyone else is laughing, but the punchline has uppercut my esophagus into my brainstem, and every thought afterwards is, will everyone think that I'm not humorous for not getting the basics, for not grasping the connection, for not allowing my intelligence to be insulted by the mishandling of a delivery that didn't appeal to me? It's the seeing a crowd of people and feeling instantly overwhelmed before ever approaching. It's the knowing that all of the details that I have overthought in a matter of split seconds will possibly be the story to end unfinished. It's the relentless sledgehammer of banging at the back of the wall of my expectancy and the shrill of a banshee haunting my moments of silence.
Alien, you froze up, sweetheart.
Hey, Tony.
I
I thought
don't
that
even
was a
hear
moment of
anything.
silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hey,
lost.
everybody. I'm
And
sorry. Having some difficulties.
her screen froze up. Let me chat with her real cute. Everybody else mute, please. Everybody unmute. So while we wait for Sister Alien to get her connection back together, and woo, I was feeling that piece.
She was going bananas.
She was
Yeah, she
going,
was snapping.
she was going off. Peace, Brother Tony. How are you? Coach Tony in the building.
I'm good, Kai. I'm good. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Make
Tony.
it
What up,
easy.
Coach?
I'm late, but I made it.
It's all
Made it.
right. It is quite all right. So we're gonna go ahead and let Alien get her connection back. But we're gonna keep going because we are recording this. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So I think I'm gonna go to my top left corner in my Brady Bunch artist square. Everybody mute and give the stage to Mr. Opinionated.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Okay, so most people are not used to me doing romantic stuff, but I am a big romantic. I love romance. I love the feeling of being in love. So I'm gonna do something a little different that I do not do at poetry sets. The name of this piece is called Let's. Let's slow dance, glide across the floor and revel in the romance. Let's laugh at simple things, sleep in and ignore the alarm's ring. Let's cook dinner. I'll provide my specialty dish. You'll provide the place and fulfill my every wish. Let's go to a movie, sit back and relax. Let's talk about current events and debate all of the facts. Let's take a ride and enjoy the country roads. Glance at the cornfields and lighten your load. Let's spend time with friends. Exchange glances, play games, and let's see who wins. Let's exchange gifts during Christmas time. Whose house will we spend it at? Yours or mine? Let's sit up at night and talk about our wishes and dreams. Go back and forth about the simplest things. Let's fall asleep on the couch after eating Sunday dinner. Play in the snow during the dead of the winter. Let's discover each other while taking a shower. Frustrate each other and make each other holler. Let's go house shopping and explore the possibilities. Talk about what we're going to do alone, just you and me. Let's explore each other's worlds. Drop our walls of protection and our cares to the sky hurl. Let's forget all of our restrictions, limits, and entanglements. Let's run wild, just for the heck of it. Let's be us. That's that piece.
Salute, salute.
Nice.
Mr. Opinionated.
Right. Making people holler. What?
Nice, bro.
Yeah, I love that piece. So now tell me
Right.
why you don't do more romance pieces.
Because I am, I'm rigid. I'm rigid. I think I'm rigid. A part of me is rigid. I would say. I love being romantic. I'm in love with the romance. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't do it enough. Maybe I need to get comfortable with it. But I'm experimenting now showing another side. So, but yeah, and I'm not, yeah. I'm pretty rigid. And so I'm getting more comfortable showing that side.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the imagery. You painted a beautiful picture. Like I could
And
see.
it's a personal poem, because all of my poems are not about me. Because as artists, we think, it's about your life. This particular poem is actually based off of a relationship. And when I wrote the book, and the person who's actually sprinkled in the poem, they're like, "Is that book about me?" I was like, "Part of it, because as poets, we will write about you."
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Mm-hmm. Well, good job. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So I think I'm gonna go to my top right, and let's let Jamie, the artiste, bless us with something. I have not heard this, sister, so I'm excited. Everybody, please mute.
Wow, okay. This piece is called Makeup. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, okay, good. Your brushstrokes paint me colors that I only see in my dreams. You undo my seams. With you, I can breathe. Together, we move with ease. I'm never displeased. In reality, I love how you make me blush. You're my crutch. I have such a crush on us, and of you, I can never get enough. I am complete. But our foundation was shaken, all over a misunderstanding, and our palette was taken. The face we use to face the world is caking. Creasing lines are increasing, and beauty is erasing. Now I'm racing, spending more time with the sharpener to keep the eyeliner exact. I have to accentuate what's left because we can't go back. So these layers are starting to double up, and I can't smooth them out flat. So these smoky eyes help hold my tears back. I'm finally breaking, falling apart like the bristles of your brush. You don't cover me the same. You even stop calling me by my name. And since you're not here to fill in and hide my flaws, these insecurities are driving me insane. I hate how you still have access to the top shelf of my brain. I want it to rain. Maybe a good cleansing will help wash away what I can't seem to help start this process of undoing what I can't do, like getting rid of the shadows of you, the illusion I helped and encouraged while convincing myself that I was convincing you. I should be through, but I still want to contour while your mascara mantra helps me mask, and I give you these lipstick fantasies without you having to ask. I wanted you to be my last, but now I'm just left feeling as dark and empty as our makeup bag. I'm sad. I can't take it. I'm so addicted to your makeup, but I just want to be naked. The bare essentials, flaws and all, faced with the beat face of the truth, and I can take it. But I cover up the fact that I might not make it. And yeah, it drugs me, but without it, I feel ugly. Don't judge me. The concealer won't heal her. I need him. Something about the glitter in his setting powder gave me power, and I've been without that feeling for hours. And without your touch, I'm in a clutch. I don't understand. How could you just abandon us? And as far as I can tell, you got me feeling marked down, lower than a clearance sale. No BB cream at hand to cover my blemishes and hyperpigmentation. Nothing left to help me mask my reality and face the situation of your absent version of manipulation. And after closing the case, and you left in a haste with nothing to bat an eye about. But I'm certainly gonna lash out on how your moisturizer turned to cold cream, killing my dreams, washed it away like micellar water so you can start anew while I'm still trying to hold it together like glue. Is it possible to feel sadder than the color blue? You said you wouldn't hurt me or leave, but look what you go and do. Indeed.
Well, Miss Jamie.
Peace.
Thank you.
Mm.
Love all the metaphors and analogies. Dope.
I mean,
Thank you.
Anybody who's ever been in love certainly can relate to that. When you said that the love had turned dark like the makeup bag, sisters know about that makeup bag digging in deep. And it'd be like, where that red lipstick that I know is in here, but you can't find it. Ooh, guys. Very good. So was that inspired by like a former relationship, or tell us the story behind that poem?
This actually came about. I was doing like a radio poetry show, and I can't remember what the topic was. But while I was in queue to go on, like I kind of got the idea. They were talking about makeup and all that, and I was like, I wonder if I could do a poem with like all the different kinds of makeup, and then just kind of form it into like some type of relationship or breakup piece. And then a couple of drafts later, I was just like, ooh. So I'm just like, just to make sure I had my stuff right, I kind of Googled all the different stuff that, the layers of makeup, the setting powder, all the BB cream, and all of that. So yeah, there's some personal experiences kind of weaved into there, but like overall with anything else, like every now and then I just like to kind of push myself, creativity, to see like, what can I turn an everyday product into something poetic,
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Snaps and claps. Snaps and snaps. Fantastic. We're going to keep the sister energy going. Thanks, Aileen. You're back. Everything good? Good? Okay. So next up, I'm going right to you. You did the shimmy, like you the shimmy, you was ready. Y'all give it up for Darlin Mikki.
Hey y'all. I'm gonna get to a place so I can't move. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Oh, okay. Okay, as long as you. All right. What I am going to do, I'm actually going to read a piece. I'm so excited about reading it. Let me get to some because I'm blind as a bat. All right. I'm going to read this piece real quick. My lingo be black. Got attitude, a roll in the neck, aptitude for my roots. My lingo will snatch you with tongue. Sometimes my lingo run on sentences. It breaks only after period. My lingo elongates vowels like big and dismiss consonants. My lingo will put you in check with broken English, but it really ain't broke. My lingo gives you visuals, hand motions, buck eyes for emphasis. It disciplines in one phrase. My lingo damn near dance, clap hands, 2 snaps and a twist, then gets corporate and get the job done. Food orders be right. Amazon refund. My lingo be lit, like bussin' and turnt, made up words like they really put them in Webster. Look it up. My lingo be authentic like LA taco trucks. Mamacita made them with just one hand, bare hands. My lingo be thumbs up like subliminals on Facebook. Yeah, I liked it because I knew exactly what she meant. My lingo be urban, like crowded blocks, corner stick, like skin from defeat of a roasting session, lessons and lashes from tongue. My lingo break barriers, because we foreign. Portia, Alexis, my lingo compliments be like, come through earrings, sang sis, you better, okay sweater, twerk, spin cycles every 28 days. My lingo be thankful without words. Verbs be like a hassling and that grab air thing, an action or a state of being. My lingo be incomplete sentences. Head ass. If you don't get your big, I wish you would. Disrespect the dialect developed with lifts and tied tongues. Recent lifts and tied tongues. Accents with southern comfort, mistakes and mispronunciations. This lingo is our language. We ain't got a name for it, but my lingo created this poem, and that's that piece.
That was dope. I love that.
I just wrote it a few days ago. I was like,
Yeah, that
oh
was
my
dope.
God.
That was
I
dope, man.
like that. It's so true. I'm sitting there clapping like, yes. Like,
Get it
okay,
memorized.
poem.
I gotta
Very
get it memorized
nice
so I can
wordplay.
really perform it. Thank you.
That was nice.
Appreciate that. Thank
That was
you.
dope, Nick.
That was amazing. My lingo be like, take a sip.
Right, that red juice. Your My Little Pony cup.
That's right. That's how you know it's official. For sure, for sure.
It's
Woo!
one of my quarantine pieces.
Your quarantine pieces, the quarantine
Yeah,
spirit poems. Yes, yes.
wait till they set us free. Man.
Ooh, baby. It's gonna be busting.
It's free, for sure. So I'm gonna go next to the inspiration coach of this Brady Bunch Artistic Square. Y'all give some love to my brother, Coach Tony.
Well, thank you very much. I'm gonna finish this Uncle Nip pouring this last shot of Uncle Nearest real quick.
Can we just talk about Uncle Nearest? Can we just like squeeze?
Can we just? Yeah, it's gone, but right, you get the whole.
So Uncle Nearest, for y'all that didn't know, Uncle Nearest worked on the plantation where the Jack Daniels family was doing their brewing. So the story goes is that he is the one who actually told them and taught them how to make whiskey. But of course, because they were the owners, if you will, then they created the Jack Daniels branch. So the brand, excuse me. So Uncle Nearest's family finally got together and started creating their brand of whiskey based off of his original recipe. So if you are buying Jack Daniels, you definitely should be buying Uncle Nearest and support.
Yeah, absolutely.
The original, and it's good. It's smooth. It is smooth.
Ooh, I'm trying to tell you. It's definitely what's happening.
So you get a little lesson here too. So Coach Tony, what you gonna bless us with, bruh?
So I ain't know how much time I had, right? But I, instead of doing a piece, I wanted to read. I know some of y'all know. A while back, I had Robustelli Films had approached me about doing a movie on my life, and I had to write the book, the memoirs, and have it turned into a script and all of that. So I only got like 4 chapters in, and then I kind of let it go. But during this quarantine, I decided to pick it back up. So I actually wanted to like test out like chapter 1, right? And just kind of run through that for y'all, right? Is that cool? That works? Okay. I need to flip to my Word doc. So chapter 1 from the book titled, of course, Make It Look Easy. That's why I started using the hashtag, actually. But chapter 1, not today, Chris. I often wonder how many people actually grow up believing that their childhood was normal. I sure did. It was all I knew. We lived in a 2-flat family building on the west side of Chicago. On the first floor lived my Aunt Frances, who was my grandmother's sister, and 4 of her kids. When I was a kid, I thought they were the strangest thing on earth, right? How dare they live so abnormally? Upstairs, I lived with my mother, Pat, her sister Rosalind, we called her Rocky, and her daughter Tamika, my little brother Jeff, my grandmother, and her boyfriend, Big Junior. And of course, my great aunt, great uncle, Sandy Bowser, and my aunt Ted. Yep, he was packing it nice. The basement of the building flooded every time it rained. A few inches away, it smelled old and musty. The uneven concrete floor was difficult to clean and required a consistent broom, mop, and open doors just to keep some sort of freshness flowing through. We'd always somehow managed to keep a washing machine, but I never ever seen a dryer, right? After a good load of washing, except in the summer, everything got hung up on clotheslines, which ran from one side of the basement to the other. There was also 2 bedrooms down there, primarily the land of Mike and Rip, although eventually most of us would end up with a room down there at some point or another. The building was old, needed a lot of repairs, but it was home. The upstairs technically had 3 bedrooms, a living room and dining room, but we added 2 twin-sized beds and a small couch to the dining room, and almost like magic, had our mansion. It wasn't so bad, considering downstairs they actually had bunk beds in their living room. What's funny is that even with the need for so much room, we still had the living rooms that were off limits with a good couch that couldn't nobody sit on. It's crazy, right? It's Black grandmothers for you. We lived here on Drake Street since I was 2 years old. You know how in every family there's that one person who did well and had all the money? That was my Aunt Ted. She worked her entire life from teenage years and reportedly never missed a day of work. Because she never had any children, she just saved her entire life, which wasn't rich by any stretch of the imagination, but for our family, she was it. She placed the down payment on the building, and was the sole reason we all had a place to call home. I don't want to say she was an extremely devout Christian, but she loved us some Jesus. Actually, looking back now, I'm not sure if she was heaviest on the actual religion and institution of church, or whether she was just more taken with the social aspect and the fact that she was a highly respected member of something bigger than herself. Ultimately, she believed in doing right by people. She was the textbook example of what possessing a moral compass looked like. But she could also be a bit of a firecracker. She wasn't a pushover by a long shot. She just believed in justice. Reciprocity was her true religion. Every Sunday morning, the pastor of New Paradise Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend Burns, drive from the south side of Chicago to pick up me, her, and my youngest brother, and take us to church 2 hours before Sunday, just before Sunday school started, so she could prepare breakfast for the entire church. He wasn't a flashy pastor. He drove a beat-up old 1971 Ford LTD Country Squire station wagon, the wood grain panels on the side of the doors, and had a rusted-out rack on top. Sometimes I would spend the night at his house on Saturday nights to hang out with his grandkids, Steven and Angela. I liked them, I really did, but I could never explain not really wanting to be at their house. It was a real house, right? With a nice backyard, fully finished basement, and attic. So it kind of felt strange to me. There were only 4 people who lived in that house, but they had 5 bedrooms, and somehow I was always ready to leave. They seemed too happy, but they was my friends. Loved going to church. Spent a lot of time there. I actually felt cared for the moment I stepped through the doors. I sang in the youth choir with Steven and Angela, as well as some other good friends and sisters, Sam and Tanya. Easter plays, skating trips, you name it. We enjoyed it all, even though sometimes it could be a little challenging. Not really challenging. I was just a curious child. I asked questions because I wanted to know how things work, Mrs. Burns, who was the first lady of the church, and the pastor's wife was also our Sunday school teacher, right? So I would ask her questions like, so why does God let babies die? And why is Jesus on the wall white? She loved me. I also loved school, particularly math. As a kid, I was obsessed with puzzles, mysteries, and riddles. I looked at math questions like one puzzle after the next. And once I learned how to solve it, the solution was forever with me. I learned it. That was one subject I was sure to complete all my homework assignments in as soon as I made it home each day. As the problems got harder, it became easier for me to solve them in my head. All it took was to solve a similar one in the homework to have it in class and completely ace any test you place in front of. After winning citywide math contests and skipping grades in elementary, I became somewhat known in school, family, church, neighborhood as some kind of like freak genius. Nerd, maybe, but I definitely wasn't a genius. I just loved puzzles, and it only helped that I had a mean work ethic to step in for the assist. Soon after, I started naturally applying my process of solving puzzles to any and everything. I saw challenges everywhere. Step one, identify the issue. I always ask myself, what is the true problem? Sometimes I would just stop and take a long, hard look at the problem and discover the actual issue itself is often a lot more fundamental than I originally thought. What I'm not about to do is solve the wrong problem. Step two, understand the why. This was always important for me. Why does the problem need to be solved? I need to understand the benefit of the challenge. Who or what walks away better? Once I understood that, I had a framework for who or what needed to be satisfied. Step three, how many strategies exist for me to choose from? I used to try solving issues like most people, hard and fast. The truth is, one problem might have multiple solutions. I had to learn to look at things from all angles and apply some lateral thinking. Instead of going head to head with a problem, looking at it sideways from the bottom, from the top, or even starting from the end and working backwards would almost consistently provide additional lines of attack. I just needed to know which one had the outcome that worked best for me. Step four, make it look easy. Nerd, right? School thought so. I never forget the day they came and pulled me out of my fourth grade class, which is where I was totally in love with Shonda Green. Really digging my cool Casio calculator watch, right? And dropped me into sixth grade. Man, Shonda Green. But anyway, here I was, 10 years old in sixth grade, skinny, big feet, big eyes, and being introduced to some Doogie Howser type whiz kid. I never forget the day I walked into that classroom. School counselor was trying to introduce me to the teacher, and I was stuck, scared to death, and looking at these freaks of nature, giants of human beings they call sixth graders. Oh, and let me explain to you how cool the Chicago public school system was. It wasn't if they placed me in the top performing sixth grade class. They placed me in the classroom full of all the fuck ups and the kids who couldn't possibly care less about the wonders of pre-algebra. Chris Cole, in a classroom full of juvenile delinquents and kids who should have been in eighth grade or high school by now, everyone was striving to be the greatest gangster they could be. It was a breeding ground for bullies. The last thing I needed was to draw attention to myself, but here I was, minding my business, drawing attention like Pablo Picasso with a paintbrush. I can't even remember the girl's name anymore, but here she was, checking out my fresh. Anyone who knew me at the time knew with certainty that I was always the freshest kid around. I like to think it was because of all of my hard work and success in school that Auntie had spoiled me. But once she told me that it was because her sister, which is my mom's grandmother, told her before she died that I would be special, everything just kind of fell in my lap. Again, that's Black grandmother's fault. Anyway, I'm sitting in class and this girl decided to express how nice she thought I looked and openly began flirting with me, which I can't admit I wasn't ready for. 13-year-olds moved a whole lot faster than 10-year-olds that I was used to. Chris catches it, gets highly upset. I suppose it was tough seeing his crush checking out the kid who could. He leans in and tells me I got to holler at you at recess. Cool, holla, homie. Right after lunch, we go to recess. Shit. Meet me by the back of the playground where everybody hang out. I heard the bell for recess, walked out of the lunchroom, walked straight home. I wasn't getting my ass whooped. Not today, Chris. I needed time to think. And time to think I would have. That night, I went in and talked to my Aunt Ted about Chris fucking Cole. This thin 79-year-old woman who walked with a cane and was a shining example of the Lord's army. Cared for me deeply, as always, and gave me some of the best advice in my life. I was told that the best way to fight a bully was to find out what he was truly afraid of and own it. stayed up till about 1 a.m. lying in bed thinking, identify the issue, understand the why, how many strategies exist for me, solve it, make it look easy. What was Chris's problem? Did he just want the girl? Because he could have her. Nah, that wasn't it. It was a lot deeper than that. Maybe it was just he didn't like me. Nope. It finally hit me. He was an outcast. He had a big athletic build, broad shoulders, strong as a bull, but he didn't have many friends in the classroom either. But I see him picking on the younger kids before. He was a certified bad guy, right? So I could either A, fight him and take a stand against bullying for all the underdogs in America, whoever had put up their own personal playground monsters. B, try to use reason and talk them into becoming friends. C, tell a teacher or staff member. Or D, none of the above. Find out what he was afraid of and own it. Woke up early that morning, asked my aunt Ted for $50, buy me some new shoes after school. No biggie, right? She already had me used to buying a new pair of kicks twice a month as it was. So she looked at me and asked one question. She asked if I was really going to buy shoes or if I was on my way to own the problem. I told her I was on my way to own the problem. Asking for that $50 was the first time ever that I lied to her. Every morning before school and after, everybody.
That's all. That's all.
I got what?
Hold it. Don't give it all away. Don't give it all away. I need to know what Auntie Ted had to say. Why she giving you a 10-year-old $50? Hold it. Don't give it all away. I got questions. Questions. So
come on.
So wow. That is an amazing story. Everybody chime in. Like, can we give him some feedback on that?
I'm ready for the book.
Who was that, Jamie?
No, that was Antoine.
Antoine, okay. I appreciate it. Antoine, it's coming. I kind of stopped writing it, but it's coming.
It's pretty good so far. It paints a picture. It kind of sets up all the characters. I like it.
Very descriptive. Very detailed. The part that resonated with me the most is that apartment living and being in a place where, in a home, an actual house. You know, it's like going from the West Side to Oak Park. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I want to read that book.
It's so the first chapter, I tried to put everything in it that set the story up, right? So that's why it may seem like it's actually a lot of details. But as it go, the book kind of take off and it move a whole lot faster, right? I under that lesson that I got with that $50, I invested it in becoming something else. But some of y'all know, most of y'all probably know, but by the time when I turned 13, one of my family members killed my auntie in front of me, and it pushed me on the street. So I was homeless on the street, living on the street from like 13 to 15, and just kind of started doing, you know, like most black boys, young men. I hit the ground running and hustling and doing everything under the sun, and took me a long time to get it together, but you know, but it's what drives me, right? You know, it created who I am now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think that we all have kind of that moment where we could have went this way or went this way, and it changed the trajectory of our life. You know, I think that we all have that story in some shape or form. But I think like everyone here listening and people once we look back for the audience, people gonna pre-order that, brother. Because I got questions. I am a reader and I need to know all of the details, all the information. I'm ready to go and figure out
Right on.
papers. I need to talk to this little girl you had a crush on, what she was doing. I got questions. Like,
I looked up a couple years back. She ain't doing so well, so you know. She was what was happening, you know, back then.
Isn't that the truth though? Isn't it like when you go like to your crush and you see them in the future, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
But brother, keep writing. Keep writing. Take this time and opportunity to keep writing that. And even if I listen to the city writing is difficult, just start recording yourself because you can get somebody to type your words out.
Okay.
You can outsource that.
That's right.
But talk it out, and then we can talk.
I like that.
We can talk on.
Nice.
All right.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool.
That got me. I was like, I forgot I was hosting the show. I was like, tell me more. Okay, back on it. So I think I am going to share a piece for those on this call, and for some of those who will be watching this later. I had worked on my new solo project called Curl Pattern, and so thank you, Amy. So my single Simper is out there, so if you got streaming whatever, y'all look it up. Simper, S-I-M-P-R. Listen, let me know if you like it. Add it to your playlist. Tell your friends about it. So I wrote a couple of poems to go on that album, and this one didn't make it on. Not because I didn't think it was good enough, but I had a theme for the Curl Pattern album. And this felt like maybe a bit heavier than the mood that I was trying to portray. But I'm going to read it and share it. First time sharing it. First time even reading it. Ooh, you know how you write something, it ain't even edited. I don't even know. It might not even have no good flow, but y'all let me know. This poem is called Don't Come Here, Little Girl. You can be what you want to. You can be what you want to. A marshmallow gooey affirmation. White, light and fluffy like clouds that make sunny day paintings pop. Reality adjusts the crooked canvas. Dreams dressed in latex or mylar. What goes up, noble gas fueled or not, certainly must come down. Like spirits, volumes of ethanol, fermentation kisses, prefrontal cortex, drunk with despair. People care more about apathy. Truths are weighted in gated privilege, guarded and time released. Are you ready to accept that no matter how hard you try, tealing and toiling, broken nails with cracked cuticles, no matter how deserving, self-sacrificing for generations, bearing your own cross, lost GPS signal for success, you may never get there. Might be because of your hair. Your name might have an apostrophe. Burn the cloak of misogyny, pheromone awareness, dispelling myths, freeing chrysalis, woke and sparkly too. TED talking since birth, they may never see your worth. Cause your skin dirty rich, slave trade shit, packing slip missing. Who are you, little girl? Black, brown, or red, the color of scars from hurt. The world will scab you over and over and over again. So don't come around here, little girl. Stay only a fleeting thought in my womb. I can protect you there. In peace.
Wow. You have always been an amazing writer. For real, for real. Dope.
Nice.
Great storytelling.
That was dope. I can't believe you. What made you decide to keep it off the project? You said it just didn't fit with the overall project itself, like the storyline.
So on the Redacted project, there's a sad poem on there called Should Have Been. And it talks about, you know, my struggles with infertility. And
I remember that.
And that was a very difficult moment for me to speak about publicly, and, you know, to kind of address the question that always happens with people when they meet me, especially because I love kids so much and I advocate for kids. And people always say, you know, like, how many kids you have? And I'd be like, no. And then people look at me like something wrong with me, which is, you know, a shame that we are not more sensitive to each other's plights and struggles and storylines. And so that felt heavy to me. And Curl Pattern is fun and sassy and funny, and it has its serious moments, but in a context that I think that poem felt like part 2 of Should Have Been. And so maybe there's a place for that poem someplace, maybe in a book or something else, maybe during some of my motivational speaking. But I just thought that the 2 poems that I have on there seem to be more on theme.
The ending part, the part where you said, stay in my womb where I can protect you as a mother, like that, the stuff that I've experienced as a mother, like that really hit hard for me. Like that if you was just to stand on the stage and spit that one part on the mic, like I'm pretty sure all the mothers in the audience would be wowed by that shit. That really touched me in my own personal experiences in being a mother. That was phenomenal, Kai.
Thank you. Moving on, this brother, I would say that he needs no introduction because, you know, we know him. And if you've ever been to a house party and seen a percolation of epic proportion, then you know who this brother is. But maybe to someone viewing this broadcast, they may not know who he is. So y'all give some love to Hoodraised.
Oh, Hercules. Man, this has been amazing so far. Like, yeah, the storytelling, the words, the being transparent. I love that. Now I wasn't even sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, I guess I'll do a poem or something. Nowadays, I gotta stay focused on who my folks is, or who be there when the smoke clears. Will it be my peers that I knew for years? Or will it be the poetry that brought me here? And when it's over, will you be near? Will you blow up in smoke and disappear? Because nowadays, I gotta stay focused. Whenever my pen and markers leak, I become one with the 8 parts of speech. Then spark your sheets only peak when your heart is breached. It's never hard for me. I flow so instinctively. Wordplay so fluid, it's like it's fed intravenously into my vocal cords. For busting open doors, confiscating open mics and starting open wars. It's the nerve in me. I can't resist this urgency to purposely use terms that burns like infirmaries. Because I gotta stay focused as satellites. I gotta write. To writing is something I've gotten right. See, I gotta fight because life on the mic is a bully that keeps shoving me. And yeah, it feels lovely. When after performing somebody states how much they was loving me, I accept their compliments humbly, but never settling for second. It's something that's stuck in me, so I force myself to do better. And I wrote mediocrity or to hell with you letter. It only consisted of 2 letters, F-U, because my favor is undenied. My ferocity is untamed, and my focus is unwavering. And I'm the sultan of syllables, similes, soliloquies, spit styles officially, and I'll seize a symphony, assassinate simplicity with the cynical style that I service, known as vicious, slicker than a slip on the slimy surface. And I'm the Mike Titan, with punchlines that smite like rights from the 80s Mike Tyson. So night after night, I'm up trying to be twice as enlightening as when it's pitch black and lightning is twice striking. So lines cling to your head like lights biting. Yeah, me and life was fighting, but I took life's best hook. But I'm quick, swift, and agile, on point like Rose and Westbrook. And sure, lyrical points is scored with a checkered pass. Now I'm crowned the king, so watch me jump all over the board. My destination is being the top spot. Brain loaded and locked like an overzealous cop's Glock. Ensuring everything is top notch, so I'm constantly leaping over these squares. Hopscotch. Nowadays, I gotta stay focused. But who my focus is? Who'll be there when the smoke clears? Will it be the peers that I knew for years? Or will it be poetry that brought me here? And when it's over, will you be near? Will you blow up and smoke, disappear? So nowadays, I gotta stay focused. It's that piece.
Nice. I like that, bro. I like that.
Rapid fire wordplay, huh? I hear you.
Drink me some.
Dope.
I appreciate
Dope,
that,
bro.
Yeah, that's as you kind of get some longevity on the scene. People have a tendency to I don't know. I had those moments where I feel like I gotta jump back out there and showcase, kind of show off a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm so used now. I'm more focused on being a host and focused on trying to organize to get a platform for the other artists to do them. But you know, I never want to let my pen get rusty.
Like that felt like a slam piece. Saying like I'm not a slam poet. Like I got to. I want to look all the enemies.
It was definitely
like that seemed like an annihilation situation.
It was a challenge. It was one of them. One of the artists out there challenged me to say where your bars at type thing. I was like, oh, really? Okay. Let me see if I still got a few of those. I think I can put something together. And I never want to be cocky with it, but when I'm challenged, you got to step to the plate and be focused on the art more so than the ego. That's my concept right now. Art over ego always.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. That.
Thank you for having me. I love this.
Answers to soliloquies and similes and. Ain't gotta worry about me doing none of that. Leave it to you. Y'all give it up for. Give it up. Are you ready to give it to us? You ready, sis? Alien, you ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I had the mic on mute. My bad.
It's all right. Okay, so Alien was interrupted with the interwebs earlier, but now she's back. We are ready to hear that poem once again. Give it up for Alien.
My anxiety be the violent frenzy of an orchestra while the band leader loses their place on a music sheet. It'd be like ice cream scraping the surface of sensitive teeth. It's the increased heartbeat of a teenager that's sharing their first kiss. It's sweaty hands while holding the rope playing tug of war. It's the frayed endings of my nerves collapsing beneath the surface of my central nervous system. It's me avoiding asking too many questions about a joke I didn't get while everyone else is laughing. But the punchline has uppercut my esophagus into my brainstem. And every thought afterwards is, will everyone think that I'm not humorous for not getting the basics, for not grasping the connection, for not allowing my intelligence to be insulted by the mishandling of a delivery that it's the seeing a crowd of people and feeling instantly overwhelmed before ever approaching. It's the knowing that all of the details that I have overthought in a matter of split seconds will possibly be the story end unfinished. It's the relentless sledgehammer banging at the back of the wall of my expectancy and the shrill of a banshee haunting my moments of silence. It is the ghost of opportunity of fail hovering over all of my victories. It's the phone call that I answered unexpectedly.
It's the long text message to question me. It's the demand of rushing to get things done while I'm lacking clarity. It's the lack of peace while being surrounded by others whom like nothing but arguing. It's the feeling of being alone in a room full of people that you don't know, swimming through a sea of unfamiliar faces, drowning in mundane conversations, making small talk just to fill spaces, the pacing back and forth, waiting for parties to end, and standing out front by myself because just the mere thought of trying to blend in makes the tiny hairs on the back of my neck stick out like sore thumbs. It's resisting the urge to explain myself so that I'm not held captive by everyone else's thoughts and opinions, being improvised by a penitentiary of theories and philosophies that dance around my mental unwelcome, trample my welcome mat without pushing the doorbell or calling first. It's the unrehearsed technique for mastering ignorance. It's the spontaneous importance of business conducted in casual environments. It's the effect of formal attire being required when I feel insecure. It's me pretending to be okay while secretly I feel unsure. My anxiety be like the alarm clock I thought I forgot to set, so I get up out my bed at least 3 times. So I get up out my bed at least 3 times. So I get up out my bed at least 3 times to check that I did. It be the sound of people's footsteps walking rapidly from behind me. It be the imaginary barrier crossed when random people stand too closely. It's me noticing a foul smell in the air and sniffing myself to make sure that it's not me. It's me finding someone attractive but scared that they might think I'm ugly. It's the intimate phrases I've never shared and the affection I have shown because I don't want anyone to think that I'm weak. It's me not wanting to be taken for granted or viewed as a pushover. It's the disappointment I experienced from my past that sometimes resembles trauma. It's the masked heartache and the wounded pride. It's the brick wall that can take a really long time to penetrate. It's the withdrawal from anything that may appear as a mistake. It's quicksand covering my arms, my hands, my torso, and my legs. It's suffocation from invisible hands choking my throat and words my brain knows but my mouth can't articulate. It's showing up late to functions on purpose so that no one can see me arrive. It's sitting in the back of the room in order to not be noticed. It's loaded with moments of me holding my breath subconsciously and me rocking back and forth to grant myself comfort like a baby. It's me passing up opportunities because I think I'm not good enough. It's the stuff that rises to the top of the dishwater that no one likes to touch. It's the fear that I'm saying too much. It's the biting of my tongue, the blood diamond from the pressure of thinking that I'm wrong, the being overly humble in order to hide my gift, the quick shift in attention and acknowledgement so that I don't have to feel intimidated by compliments. It's me offering advice and suggestions in a roundabout way so that I'm not feeling responsible. Sometimes my anxieties be unsurmountable. It's the mountain I can't climb from my bedroom to the front door of my home. It's the hurt feelings that cover several different time zones. It's the apologies I refuse to receive and the amendments I bob and weave and the grief I've conditioned myself to believe that doesn't even exist. It's the places I avoid to sit because I feel like I should be standing up for myself. It's overreaction because my emotions have been triggered. It's the dramatic response to things that are simple. It's the wrinkle in my plans that have been etched in stone. It's the lost and found of my temper and the popping and cracking of my bones while my knuckles get pressed. It's Titanic-sized stress taking up residence on top of my chest. It's me worrying that this is the last goodbye while kissing my kid's forehead. It's me wondering if I say I love you enough. It's me wondering if I say I love you too much. It's me wondering if I should say anything at all. It's me stalling and then dropping the ball. It's me trying to recall a time that I didn't battle with this invisible force all the time just to ask permission if it's okay to breathe, to life, to live, to love. My anxiety be like, wait your turn. And that's that piece.
Look. Wow. Your pen game is really damn ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Like, real. Wow.
Yeah, be killing the game.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
So much of that was relatable. A lot of that hit home for me. I know exactly what you mean.
And I think we as artists sometimes, we're so concerned with like showmanship, how we show up, how we're viewed, we practice our pieces, we go to open mics, we, prepare for performances, but we never like show like what happens like behind the stage or, way behind the microphone. And that piece resonated with me too. I mean, there are people who don't know that I have a little bit of anxiety that was triggered Was it last year, James, Savant, last year, a raccoon broke into my roof and sent my anxiety off the wall, and I have been able to manage it, but you gave what it feels like such life. Like, if you could explain it, you know, because sometimes it's hard to explain that. The way you described that, that was pen game. No, like, we need that poem in the DSM-6, sister. That's what mental health professionals need. That's what the world needs. That's what teachers need, what social workers and counselors and what ministers need, because I think that people just don't understand that, you know, like they don't understand it. And you gave that such meaning. My goodness, that touched me.
Thank you. For those who don't know, I am an introvert, and I don't say it. Some people use the term as a trend, like, because it's so trendy to use the term now, introvert and woke and stuff like that. But I am a true to heart introvert. I'm very enclosed and reflective, and I spend a lot of time by myself. I've battled with anxiety since I was a child, and I didn't know it had a term back then. It was my mother who would like it would feel like everything was closing in on me and I couldn't breathe and I couldn't talk, and she would like lay my head in her lap and like repeat to me over and over again that it would be okay. And so the piece is very near to me, and I always experience anxiety no matter how many people compliment me about my stage performance or about how kind I am or how sweet I am. I'm always battling with anxiety, with overthinking, like, is it okay to receive all these compliments? Like, you know, I always battle with anxiety, and it is a part of mental health. And I'm gracious for the input and for the feedback. And thank you. And I want to be quiet now, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Peace, sister, for the work that you do and the love that you share. Absolutely. Ooh, I think I need to take. Okay.
If I could just give a little feedback real quick too, what I liked about the delivery of the piece is that it felt like everywhere. You know, when your mind is just racing with all of these thoughts, and the way you delivered the piece was just like all of those thoughts just firing through a mind. And so that helped me to connect with all of those thoughts because they were just flying. So dope.
Super dope. Super dope. Super dope. Whew. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and bring up the rear, as they say in the show business. Our last poet to share today is Brother Savant Furlow. Y'all give it up for Savant.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna do this piece for you. I'm gonna read it. I have a couple computers going to kind of help me through it. Let me do this real quick, if I can. Let's see, how do I do that? Okay. Can y'all see that? All right, here's that piece. Here's that piece. Froggy went according, he did right. Crambone, while her legs and thighs got the maid looking just like Sambo. If I knew it was a blow, I would have did my best to get the show canceled. Jerry, he would squeak, and then Tom would make her leap like Lambo. The rabbit and the duck and Fudd was a part of this system. Because when the bomb blew up, they made the duck look just like Egyptians. I would laugh in the past because wisdom wasn't in my vision. The staff at Merry Melodies was telling me they consider us different. The name game goes on. Black Pete was one of Pluto's critics. When I asked why the bad guy was black, all the frog could say was, Bluto did it. We don't see it as an attack as if David's sack had 2 stones in it, emphatically killing the villain. It only took 1 stone to finish. Delonis made a big mistake linking primates to the 50-state stimulus. He called us ridiculous, like he ain't heard a reference between chimps and us. Stimpy's innocence and ignorance always made Ren Zen contentious. Advocating violence, now the rest of us are less conscientious. Panthro was a Huxtable. The junkyard dog had a chain on him. Even though he was a champion, the slave symbol stayed like a homonym. What they saying is it really doesn't matter if your character is dominant. Like whitewashes, buffoonery, cartoonery depicted us as common. How do you create a metal hero, marvelous, that transforms and call him Siren? And then create the same cat except black and you call him Flatiron? We can't be strong with a thicker stitch of the stuff on which Samson was reliant. The defender of the universe has less worth without the black lion. I'm sorry if I seem a little salty about something considered insignificant. Even offended at the WB's mascot, J Frog, Michigan. On the station that was the most diverse in the tux, shucking and jiving, it's no wonder where all the African pride went. We all silent. Take a look at these old shows and you critique it. When I was a little guy, these images were constantly repeated. Before you kick the white mouse out of the house, I'm preaching. You think that's not what it's about? And I say, don't you believe it?
Y'all give it up for Savant Furlow.
Wow.
My phone died, but that was dope.
Like, how about I knew every cartoon I seen it several times, every last one of them. And that was so dope.
Thanks, bro. Thank you. I apologize. My slideshow was a little off.
Have you been drinking out of the Little Pony cup too?
I need a sip. I need a sip.
So what inspired that? Like, I'm always interested in poems that have like such specific references. So like, that was like our whole. If you was born in the 70s, early 80s, that was like our cartoons.
Right, right.
It was just coming of age. Once I got older and I went back to kind of look at some of these cartoons, because I remember how they amused me when I was little. And with more wisdom, you can see better. And some of these images that I remembered, I was like, wait a minute, that's bogus as hell. You know what I'm saying? So what inspired it was kind of revisiting those things that I watched as a child and realizing, how the messages, those subliminal messages that were outright attacks on Black people, and how we look and how we move. I really took offense to it. So that's what made me sit down and write the poem.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing. Well, we come to the end of our time together because I wanted to make sure that we got the tape uploaded to Facebook so we can share with all the people that weren't able to be with us tonight. I just want to thank you so much for your work, for your connections, and for being here, for your time. I've been blessed, and I hope that you've been blessed too, and I hope that some of us have done pretty well here. I am hopeful that we can use this platform to know each other even better and to be even more supportive as we move forward, especially in this time. We are in an interesting place and space, and even though we aren't able to actually be together, to be able to share this moment has been amazing. So thank you for joining me, and I feel comfortable about doing this next week. So we might need to go and put this on the schedule and add some more people to our Recite moments and see what it do. I wanted to give each of you the time to tell us what you have going on, to share your social media so that people who are watching who don't know you can follow you and support you as well, and share with you, partner with you, build with you, grow with you. I want this platform to be one where we're sharing with each other and growing from each other. So I'm going to start with Opinionated. Opinionated, let us know what you got going on, and where people can find you.
He's so sick. He can't even get up there and put him.
Well, you can follow me on all social media at Mr. Opinionated. Is MROPENYONATED. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. That's on Facebook. What do I have going on? Well, I am wrapping up my third book. I don't know when it's coming out because of, the times that are going on. But the creative process, I'm finished. But now I'm really focusing on creating visual content and social media, learning a little bit more about social media and analytics and all that stuff, and like really coaching and working with artists, kind of develop their brands. So if you know anybody that is out there looking for suggestions, looking for branding strategies and things like that, they can definitely hit me up.
Thank you, Mr. Opinionated. Let me say that on the camera. Alien, where can they find you at? Unmute yourself, mama.
Okay, did you say Alien? Okay, okay. You can find me across all social media platforms at Spoken Word Artist Alien, and yes, it is Alien, ALIEN, like the extraterrestrial. What do I have going on? I've got several postponed shows going on right now due to the pandemic, but the Let Me Be Free experience, Evolution of Woman, the Transparency Brunch, also a new open mic called We a Community Open Mic is on April 18th. I don't feel it's necessary to give all of the details right now. So if you were to follow me at Spoken Word Artist Alien via Facebook, that's also Spoken Word Artist Alien via YouTube, you'll get in tune for everything I have coming up. And thank you so much for having me at Recite Open Mic. Much love to you, Kai. Thank you for inviting me.
Peace, sister. Thank you. Hoodraised. Hoodraised. Where can the people find you and what you got going on?
You can find me everywhere at Hoodraised. No crazy spelling, just HOODRAISED, Hoodraised. Of course, at hoodraisedpoetry.com. Instagram, Hoodraised. YouTube, Hoodraised 1000, the number 1000. Also, I just officially put out my second book of poetry called Bits and Pieces. It's the Thoughts of a Luminary. This book is a little bit more of my more personal poems, focus more on relationships, some of my emotional moments. Just put it out. It's been less than a week now. It's on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon.com, or you can also find it on my website, hoodraisedpoetry.com. My first book, Jotted Gems, has sold over 1,000 copies, which I'm proud of. So you can also grab a copy of that. But I'm available for consultation, for hosting, for writing. If you need a ghostwriter, whatever you need, I'm here to help. I have my performance enhancement class called Stages. And you can also find me on Fiverr, 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 for any artistry help that any artist you can see, always look me up. I got you.
Great, brother. Thank you for sharing that information. Next, we're going to go with Jamie, the artist. Where can they find you at, sister? What you got going on?
Nothing at the moment, but I can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Jamie the Artiste. I just started my YouTube channel, so there's only like a few videos on there. It's comedy, and I just recently started adding poetry, try to put a little bit of everything on there, so you know, a variety of things. But that's pretty much it. Appreciate this opportunity. I got to meet 2 new poets, and you know, hear more from my favorites, Mickey, Hood, and Alien. So that was nice. And you know, I guess this is close as we're gonna get to seeing each other right now. So.
Thank you for joining us.
And Antoine, I don't want to forget Antoine. I don't want to smoke later.
Appreciate you. I'm so thankful to have met you, and hope that next week you come back. Come on back to the Recite. This is a place for everyone. We are all inclusive. We love all.
And Coach Tony. I trying to remember the order that it went in, so I don't want to smoke later.
Right.
And anybody else, I forgot, my bad. I don't know. I just got like a stomach ache all of a sudden.
Oh,
so I just had to come in and lay down. I'm like, what the heck?
Ooh, that's what them words do to you, girl. When that poetic fire hits you, it's knocks you out.
I hope that's all it is, because I had to go outside earlier today. So like, I don't need, you know, yeah.
We gonna put some good energy into the air. We're gonna put some good energy into. I'll have I'm a light some Palo Santo for you, sister, so we can get good vibes popping off. Next up, we have, I think, where did Coach Tony go? He disappeared. So we'll go with Savant Furlow.
My name is Savant Furlow, SAVANT FURLOW. Savant Furlow, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on SoundCloud for some of the more rhythmic musical things that I've done. You can also find me on Spotify, featuring on the Redacted album with Kai Love. You can find me on Twitter, Savant Furlow, as well. Got to get a little bit more active on there. But that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Darlin Mikki.
Hey, y'all. I had to get on Hoodraised because my phone died. I'm sorry. I am Darlin Mikki. That's where you can find me on Facebook. Also, Boss Lady Productions. Please like the page. I'm all things at ease. Also, so Eddie Sunday's open mic. You can find anything that I do there. Have something big in store. We cannot release what it is right now, but just keep watching. Watch the Boss Lady Production page. National Poetry Month is coming up. We are all stuck in the house. We are all going to need these virtual tools. So just keep watching the Boss Lady Productions page, the Eddie Sunday's open mic page, and look for something huge to come out. We are excited for new projects and new things to come out. Again, Boss Lady Productions or Darlin Mikki on all social media.
Fantastic. And
thank you, Amy.
And Coach Tony is no longer here, but we want to shout him out and give him some love. If you just do the hashtag, make it look easy, you'll be able to find him everywhere. So Coach Tony, or hashtag Coach Tony, search Coach Tony, you'll be able to find him. And certainly I'll list his contact information when we place the video up. And I'm Kai Love. I have my upcoming album, Curl Pattern, that will be out in May 2020.
Can't wait. Anyway.
My single Simper is already out. It's on all your streaming formats. You can follow me on Facebook as Kai Love. Just look for the tats, and you'll know it's me. On Twitter, I am Kai Loves You, KAILOVESU, and on Instagram, I'm Kai Loves You 2, KAILOVESU 2, the number. So this has been another, well, not really another, this has been the first of many, maybe, editions, the virtual video editions of I Recite. Thank all of our artists that joined us tonight, and we hope to see you next time. Follow the I Recite at I Recite on Facebook page for any updates regarding the next show. So thank y'all for joining us. Thank all my beautiful artist communities. Let's do a big group hug to everyone. I love y'all, and
Love you.
see you on the interwebs. See you on the interwebs. Peace, love,
See you on
and
the interwebs.
peace, love, and
Bye. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Peace, love, and hair grease.